So there's this thing for the projector about invitation. It's when you first find human design as a projector, it's one of the first things you hear. Wait for the invitation. Wait for the invitation. And it's like, what does that mean? Well, wait is already like a painful word for most people. Wait, you don't wait for things, you go out and get them, you go and do it and you make things happen. That's how most of us are conditioned to think and to act and to be in the world. Is you imagine it and then you go make it happen. And you do what you have to do to manifest, right? Forgetting that only about 9 or 10% of the population are manifestors, and they're not built to manifest whatever they think. They're meant to manifest from this must, from the body, from the energy, actually, of how the universe is moving. So that's a whole other conversation. But waiting sounds so like you wait. Now you have to wait. So it feels like almost like punishment or something. Not punishment, but it feels like, I don't know, sit down and wait. But it's more about, the more I've been digging into my design, the more I'm seeing the Tao coming to life. And it's just being in a flow of life where you're not pushing the river. Waiting is actually an active state of awareness. It's an active state of just being in life. And in the waiting, it's like if you step into the water. If you're, in a lake or at the sea or whatever, you step into the water and you wait. You feel how it's moving before you decide if you're going to go further out, if you're going to go this way or that way. You feel the movement of it first. And that's what waiting is. It's an active state of being in awareness so that you sense the way the energy flows. And as a projector, it's this beingness that gives space to understand if energy is actually available to you or not. To you, when I say to you, I mean to me. And that is something that since my body began destroying my life, like I talked about in the last video, tearing down my mind's life, is about creating the space so that I start to actually understand the energies that I'm feeling. Because when it's motorized energy, it's never mine. It's never mine. I don't have fixed motors. So motorized energy is never mine. So that is the sacral buzz of the creative life force that connects and builds life. I'm inconsistent there. It comes and it goes. I have an open sacral. If it's the root with like the pressure that pushes everybody to move towards some things, that's the adrenaline pressure to do. That's that feeling for those of us with the open roots that I have to do everything now. Well, that's never mine. I'm a completely open root. So for me, the normal is, I said it in the last video, it's sloth mode. Slug. And using that push inconsistently, which those two motors are defined at the moment by Pluto and Jupiter. So it's extremely strong. I've been feeling that my body's now adapting into that energy that's flowing around and is choosing sometimes to use it. And now I'm watching things get done that were sitting around for a while. And that's about using your authority. So my body, my splenic authority, is choosing to use that energy that's coming in. Sometimes I'm not I'm not moving like a generator, but I'm getting a sense of what it is to have that generative energy on, because I'm feeling it in the transits. I don't have consistent willpower in the ego, and I don't have consistent emotional energy. So I am not emotional. I can experience emotions, but they're secondhand. I'm feeling emotional energy coming in from those who are emotionally defined. And so, that's a confusion for people who are actually not emotionally defined, think that they're extremely emotional because they're always amplifying what's not even theirs. So, these motors, these 4 motors are open in me. So the energy is never coming from me. And in getting this space of waiting, it's giving me a chance to feel what I've always felt and be able to more easily identify. First of all, identify that it's not mine, which is huge, because if you are open energetically as much as I am, you grow up thinking it's all yours and you got to do something about it now. And that leads to super anxiety and chaos and a complete like fervor and an insane way of living. So identifying that all of those, none of that energy is actually mine, is really one big step. And then as those energies come in, it's what is my body deciding to do with it? And when I say my body, I'm talking about my spleen, my splenic center, which I contact through my inner vision. I see, that's where I'm going to go with that. I see, just sit still. I see, shut up. I see, inner see, behind my eyes. I see behind my eyes, really, is how it works for me. And then that's me making choices about this energy that comes in. But it's maybe sensitive to, then the next point is that energetic being open, truly open to me or not? And that's where the recognition and invitation comes in. So the invitation is this mysterious word that feels like somebody has to go, Abith, would you like to, blah, 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 blah. And I don't feel it. It can be formal like that, but I don't feel it as formal as that. Now I'm sensing it as, I can feel when somebody's energy is like, I'm available to connect with you, or I'm available to hear what you have to share, or I feel like a shut door closing in my face and I'm not available, done, and it's not something that, and I'm specifically speaking about generators, really, who have the sacral life force, which is the energy of availability or non-availability. It's that buzz of moving and building and creating and connecting and reproducing and repeating and growing and nurturing, and it's all of that. And so when I'm in contact with generators, I now can feel when their energy is on, to be in connection with me, and when it's not. And a lot of times they don't even realize it, because most of us are not self, are living not self. So most generators are not even in touch with their sacral, because they've grown up ignoring it their whole life, right? So we push ourselves to do things that we should, or we must, or we think we have to, and so we actually ignore all of these inner signals that we all have, that actually are the truth of our path, of where we're meant to move and what we're meant to see. And so this for me is where I start to feel the invitation. And even before that comes the word recognition. So recognition is where, for me, I feel that in connection with this person, okay, they've opened their energy to me. Do they truly see me? And this is a feeling that, I'm growing into more and more, because a projector doesn't grow up seeing themselves very well. We understand ourselves through the other, because we're so focused on the other. But now I'm starting to feel where somebody interacting with me, there's something, this body feeling of, I'm not lit up, I don't feel recognized, I don't feel like in this situation that it's truly me that they see. And this comes out sometimes as, actually quite often, I feel projected on. So, somebody else will project on me what actually is theirs. Because so much of me is open, so much of me serves as a mirror. A lot of energy that you will feel if you're in aura with me is very likely to be your energy being mirrored back to you through me. And so when I feel people projecting on me what they think I am, or what they think I'm going through, or what they think I mean, I can see that it's actually their own. Those are moments where I don't feel necessarily the recognition that this is right for me. And so there is this question of like recognition, being seen for who I am and what I have to bring. And I feel that as really through my inner vision of like, yeah, connect with this, move with this, allow yourself to be pulled into this person's movie because that's what happens to a projector, is we connect with the other and then we're lost in that we just become part of what that other person is really going through. And so that's why this feeling of being recognized is so important, because I want me, as much as true me can come out within that connection. And the invitation is really feeling, is that energy truly open for me, and then has it closed for me? Because sometimes I feel it as like it's 5 minutes, if I'm chatting with a couple of people that I feel more connected with, sometimes I feel when their energy's done, and they might not even realize it, but I feel that their energy's done. And so for me, it's over. The conversation is over, the connection is over. I see it sometimes as I see the glazed over look on the eyes, and I realize that I'm speaking too much and I didn't know when enough was enough, but it was enough. So it's just an interesting, this interesting dance. I see it really as dance. Like, life is a dance, and then we're always dancing with each other. Like, we each bring different life forces and energies. And so it is this touch and go, and where are you and where am I, and how do we fit, and what's coming out of this. And it's an improvisational jazz. For me, it's jazz. It's improvisational jazz in the moment, in the now. And whatever's happening is just what's happening. So, the destruction of my mind's life is bringing me back to a place where I can feel more into this, where the energies are, if the energies are open or not. Is it a yummy energy for me or not? Because I'm so sensitive to energies, it's really important that I'm not around for very long energies that really are heavy to me, or yucky to me. Projectors go in deep. We go in deep to the other. It's like consuming the other person. And so it needs to feel right. And the thing about this is that nothing is forever either, which I was mentioning is like, now I can sense when, okay, it's right, it's correct right now, it's aligned, it feels right. 10 minutes from now, it doesn't anymore. Ciao. Okay. Or right now, it doesn't feel like it's a good connection, but that doesn't mean that next week it isn't. And I think this is a huge revelation too, to realize to just be okay with what life is doing, and not need it to be anything else, and not need to have expectations or create like too much drama about what's going on. If right now I don't care, but tomorrow I might care deeply, and that's what's happening, and that's what life's doing. And I think it's little by little trusting that life is doing what it needs to do, and everything in life is about timing. It's about timing. And there are moments where that connection with someone really needs to happen, and something needs to blossom from that. And then there are moments where that connection, it's better just to have space, because there's processes going on one side or the other side that need to flow in order for a connection to be energetically aligned and correct later on. So yeah, this is just something that I'm starting to learn in a more embodied way, where when I first found human design, it's very easy to dive in on a mental level, because there's so much it's so deep. Human design has so much information and so many layers, and so you can really like go and go and go and go, and projectors really into that. And also, it's not as easy for us to right away feel the embodied side of it, because the process for us is through the other. It's not so direct as it is with an energy being, like a generator, where they can just respond. Like, can I connect to my sacral response? For us, it's not like that. It's a little bit more complex. And so, it's taken a while, but I'm feeling now that I don't have all the doubts about the invitation art and the recognition and all this kind of talk about what it is for a projector, the strategy of a projector. It feels mystical, but in a very embodied way. So it feels magical and precious, and it doesn't feel as mental anymore, because it's not about like, oh, are they inviting me? Are they inviting me? No, it's feeling the opening and the closing. It's feeling the moving and the moving away. It's feeling that's yummy inside me. No, that's not yummy inside me. And it's feeling, for me, my splenic center, my authority is about caring, and I don't care all the time. And this is a huge revelation for me, because I've always forced myself to care about everything and everyone and everything all the time. But it's about selective caring at the right moment, because I don't have the energy to care all the time about everyone. And that it also cheapens the caring when it is really correct to care, and to care in the right way with the energy, and not have lost all the energy on caring that didn't matter, or wasn't for me, I should say, at that moment. So just some other things that I've been learning in my process of, okay, what is it to embody the design of a projector? What is it to become me, a splenic projector, no motors, in the now? So for what it's worth, especially if you're a projector, this idea of the recognition and an invitation is something you need to experiment with energetically. Not so much mentally, but try to really feel the energy. And one of the best ways to do it is to shut up a little bit. Shut up and wait. Like, yeah. Get still. Get more still. Don't try to make things happen is a huge one.